walking out of that corridor and seeing that door and hearing the guard say, just walk towards that door and open it. You're out. And I didn't know what to do. My mind was racing. I'm like, if I walk out that door, am I going to be tased in the back? Like, what, what's going on? And I walked out the door, and my angel was standing right outside of it. And I dream about that moment all the time.
Welcome back to There's Always a Way, a special limited series from Hope Comes to Visit. I'm Danielle Elliott Smith, and throughout this series, we're exploring one simple but powerful truth. There is no one right way to redefine your relationship with alcohol. There is always a way forward. Each conversation reminds us that recovery isn't one size fits all. Every path is different, every story is unique, and yet they all have something in common: the courage to believe that change is possible. Friends, as always, I'm so glad you're here. Today's guest is someone I am grateful to call a friend, and someone whose story reminds us that recovery isn't about getting lucky. It's about getting honest, staying committed, and choosing day after day to build a very different life. Adam Hamby is a husband, a father, and a man who recently celebrated 10 years of sobriety. But like so many people, his path wasn't immediate and it wasn't straightforward. It took time, it took setbacks, it took wrestling with the idea of what life without alcohol might look like. And eventually, it took making one of the most important decisions of his life. Today, Adam talks openly about the work behind long-term recovery, the moments that nearly kept him stuck, the perspective that changed everything, and why, after fighting so hard for the life he has today, he has no desire to go back. Whether you're questioning your own relationship with alcohol, supporting someone you love, or simply looking for a story of resilience and hope, I think you'll find something very meaningful in this conversation. Adam, welcome to Hope Comes to Visit. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, friend, I am excited to have this conversation. I know that you haven't talked openly about this in a forum like this before, so I know this is a little bit different, but it's just a conversation between you and I. You and I have
Yeah.
talked recovery so many times, and I know that your story is powerful, and I know it's going to help so many people. So, in getting started, let's start at the beginning. What was your initial relationship in the very beginning with alcohol like?
It completely took over my lifestyle. I'm in construction. It's kind of a normal thing in the construction and the trades. I mean, every day you go to lunch. I mean, it's not like that anymore the way it used to be. You used to go to lunch for your journeyman, get some buckets of beer, and wait for your journeyman to show up for lunch. It was kind of a normal thing. Yeah, it took over. It was just an everyday norm for me. Everyone else was doing it, so it was okay for me to do the same.
Were you young when you realized that alcohol was kind of a regular part of your life?
Teenage years, I mean, it was partying all the time, the high school life. And I never wanted that to end. It kind of seemed like it was just ongoing into my adulthood.
I know for a
And
lot of people, alcohol is something that makes us feel a little different, right? It makes us feel either socially more acceptable, it hides our emotions. What was it like for you?
well, as you know from talking 1,000 times, I ran into a lot of complications in life at a young age. My older brother passed in a very bad car accident. Um, he actually drowned in a car accident. Um,
Sorry.
so that really sent me off the edge. Um, he was only a year older than me.
Hmm.
There were three brothers all the time, growing
Hmm.
up, and we were so close. And to lose part of that was just, it felt like my life was over. So I just didn't care anymore. So that's when it really took hold.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 18, 19.
Okay. So that takes over, and I know it's common for, especially for those of us who started drinking, or for those of us who have a propensity for alcohol to be part of our nature. Um, when there is something traumatic that happens, we drink so we don't feel.
Right.
How did that manifest for you?
I was numb every day. I wanted to be numb. I didn't want to think about anything at that point, you know? Um, Also, going at the same time, my dad had left my mom. Um, actually got caught cheating in a very horrible way to find out, actually through family pictures. That's another story. But yeah, all of this was going on around the same time. My dad left when I was 15. And so I had to step up for my mom, get a job at 15, didn't see any paychecks. They went straight towards paying bills since I was 15. And my younger brother, too young to go to work. So I don't know if he really saw what I was trying to do to keep the household up and going, keep us from living on the streets, you know.
So
But
there's a
all that
piece of you.
stress and then my dad came back and that wasn't a good situation. Me and him kind of got into it a little bit. Um, I was kicked out for a year after that because my dad was accepted and I wasn't. So yeah, he took my older brother with him whenever he did leave, and yeah, I still to this day I feel like I hate him for it because he took all that time from me and my brother. But he passed 6 months after he moved back in.
You
So
almost lost your older brother twice.
right, right. And so having to deal with that, I just drank my sorrows away. I mean, it was bad. I was signing up for the military because he was signed up for the Marines. So I was going to follow in his path. And my brother-in-law decided my mom can't lose two children. So got into the trades and I've been there ever since.
Okay. What was the pivotal moment for you? So I know that there were, your wife Tina has also been on the
Hmm.
podcast before, and we've talked, like, she had a big part in being present for you during times when you were drinking, and then being there for you when you were working to not drink. But there were many people in your life who said along the way, okay, we need to intervene, we need to try to help you, as many people did for me. Those interventions, quote, did not feel right to you. What was it that said to you, okay, Adam, things need to change? Because one of the things we're talking about is everybody's path is different, right? There's
Right.
always a way, and it's not one way for everybody. What was your way?
Well, I kind of went the hard route. Um, I got my fourth DWI and I was locked up in St. Louis County for 6 months. Um, about halfway through is when I just completely gave up. I'm sitting in my jail cell, no roommate, no nothing, and I just completely just gave it up to God in a way. Um, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I'd say more so nowadays I'm more agnostic than anything. I want to believe in something, but um, yeah, that's when I hit my all-time low, sitting in my cell by myself, and I cried all night, all day for probably 3 days straight. And that's kind of a hard thing to do while you're in jail around all these badass guys, you know, really
Mhm.
let your emotions out. I mean, I was taught by my parents to not show emotion. And that was a huge step for me. When I finally was able to express my emotions and let my emotions out, that's when I accepted my new life.
It's interesting that you say that, because I remember In my first month or so of sobriety, I could actually feel, right?
Right.
Um, that's when I recognized that colors were brighter and I could hear sounds and I could recognize things. And
Right.
it meant that I actually had to feel and I could feel. And it's incredibly overwhelming because what I'd been doing for so long was numbing all the things. It's
It's so easy, isn't it?
yeah,
It's just so easy to pick up a bottle and numb it
right.
and just put it behind you, you know? But to actually step up and deal with it and step up as a man and take charge of my life and my emotions and everything else along with it, you know? Um, Trying to build a family at the same time. Um, Through getting sober after I was released, we had my second beautiful daughter, Hazel. Um, she wouldn't be here if I didn't make that decision on that specific day to change my life. And I'm so thankful for finally getting my brain to think in a normal direction instead of just total chaos all the time, you know?
Who did you have waiting at home for you when you were sitting in that jail cell?
I had Tina, my wife, and Olivia, my daughter. She was 4 at the time. And I couldn't be more thankful. It was the best feeling in the world. I remember walking down that hallway, my last steps out when they were releasing me. And I was so used to them telling me to turn left, turn right. I mean, it's different. I can't believe I put myself in that position and my family in that position. But walking out of that corridor and seeing that door and hearing the guard say, walk to, just walk towards that door and open it. You're out. And I didn't know what to do. My mind was racing. I'm like, if I walk out that door, am I going to be tased in the back? Like what, what's going on? You know? And I walked out the door and my angel was standing right outside of it. And I dream about that moment all the time.
What was it like while you were in there, knowing that you had people on the outside supporting you, that Tina had been waiting for you, supporting you, believing in you?
I couldn't have done it without her. And they tell you to do it for yourself, but having that support is number one. It's so hard. I couldn't imagine doing it without the support of my wife and my daughter and my family and my friends. I just, I'd be lost. I don't know where I'd be. I went through a choices program. It's like a rehab program while I was in there for 3 months. It was a 90-day program. And for some reason, everything they said after that one specific day of sitting in my cell right before I got into the choices program, I knew I had to go all in. So I listened to every word. I took in everything. And most of the guys in there are laughing and calling bullshit on pretty much everything, you know? But I took it all in. I actually was released a day early because I was top of my class in the choices program in St. Louis County Jail. Doesn't sound like much, but a day is a long time. Um,
I'm going to take you back for a second because you
yeah,
said, these guys are laughing and kind of calling bullshit. And it took you to your fourth DUI, right? So I imagine that at some point after your first or your second, you were one of the guys that called bullshit on getting straight and figuring it out and stopping
every
drinking,
time.
right?
I was that guy. So to go back and give them any crap about that would be crazy. But seeing as how none of them are around anymore, um, I wouldn't be able to do that. They actually all passed. I'm the last surviving member of that class of 30. All 29 others passed.
All 29 others from that choices program have passed.
Yes.
I remember sitting in treatment, and this is where sometimes people do the tough love. And it broke my heart a little bit because they said, of the people that were there, like the 30 of us that were there, they said, of the 30 of you, only two of you will not have relapsed by this time next year. And I looked
Right.
around the room and I thought, I'm one of the two. What are like what's the rest of you? But I know that that tough love kind of thing doesn't always hit that way with some people. I know that
Right.
some people think, well, why even bother? Right?
Right.
So, how did you switch from why even bother to I'm one. I'm the one. You're the one of that class of 30, Adam. How did you switch to the one?
Just the drive to never put myself and my family and my friends in a situation that I did. And for me, to better my life because I was going nowhere, I could be one of those 30 with ease. Like I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest. The way I was living, I was headed straight towards the grave.
Each year you have an anniversary. You hit 1 year, you hit 2 years, you hit 3 years. I am 100% sure, knowing you, knowing me, I would love to say that we are exempt from dealing with hard things. We are not. How do you keep
Right.
from going back?
From going back to the hard things,
From going back to drinking when you're experiencing the hard things?
seeing all three of my girls' smiling faces every day. It's I know I've made it every day. Waking them up to have breakfast. I mean, every moment I have with my girls, I wouldn't change anything for the world. And I'd be letting myself down at the same time. I couldn't imagine the feeling of, I know relapse, they say relapse is part of sobriety, but it all goes back to that one moment. Like I don't ever want that feeling to come back. It's something clicked in my head and I don't know what it was because got myself to that extreme low in my life. I can't do it again. I'm just so tired of being tired, you know?
Yes, I know. And it's interesting because not everyone has the same level of rock bottom, but I think it's a personal rock bottom, whatever that looks like,
Right.
right? And I know that for me, I had personal experiences blacking out, waking up at 3:30 in the morning and thinking, what did I say? What did I do? Did I lose something? Where is my car? And if I'm sharing those experiences with other people, someone who drinks normally would say, why would you ever drink again? And when you have a problem with alcohol, there isn't an answer to that. It's strictly a compulsion or a desire to feel like a normal drinker. You just
Right.
want to be the person who wakes up and can do it normally. So you're just going to wake up and try again until you wake up and you say, I can't live like this anymore.
Right. And it would be easy to just go back and drink and be accepted by all my old buddies I used to hang out with. I couldn't tell you how many friends that have come and gone because of sobriety, but the good ones, they stick around and they don't go anywhere. They're there to support me in every way possible, including you and James, which I appreciate you guys so much.
We adore you.
Um, it's good to put yourself in an environment around people like you. Um, the Kava culture that we're around, and It just feels like I can be open. I can talk about it. You have to feel free to express yourself and be able to talk about sobriety around other people going through the same thing. That's where you feel accepted.
You mentioned early on being in construction, right? In an
Yes.
environment that a lot of people drink a lot. How do you handle that?
Um, well, it's been 10 years now. It was rough at first. I mean, taking criticism from all the guys at work, um, they're all going out for drinks after a long, hard day of sweating outside. Um, and me, I'm never late getting home. I'll just say that. I'm always in a rush to go back and see my girls. I think if the police are going to get me again, they're going to get me on my way home because I'm never speeding to work. I'm speeding back home every day.
That's
Um,
the best.
I chase this feeling of just being home and safe with my wife and kids. And once I know I'm with them, I feel like I can really do anything. And I give them a lot of credit, but at the same time, I have taken a lot of steps on my own, and I've done this on my own, and I couldn't be any more proud of myself.
As you should be. You're making me tear up. I will tell you that, so you and I have known each other almost since I first got sober. So almost 7 years. And I've known you longer than I've known your beautiful wife and your beautiful girls. And full disclosure, you guys were all at our wedding, and Tina officiated the wedding, and the girls were in the wedding. And um it's
The
but I've
most
known you
beautiful wedding,
longer.
by the way.
Pardon me?
Beautiful wedding, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But I've known you the longest, right? And one of my
Yeah.
favorite things about you since the very beginning was your commitment to your family and your commitment to your girls, and how much you thrived when you talked about them, and how much your eyes brightened, and the light you have when you talk about all three of them. And that's always been so beautiful and so remarkable to me.
It is. It's beautiful and remarkable to me every day, you know? Um, I appreciate that.
What would you say to
I'm so
someone?
lucky. I'm just so lucky. Because I mean, a lot of people going through sobriety don't have what I have. And I'd love to give them direction. And my advice would be find something that you're passionate in, find something you love, and give it 100% of your focus, because that'll be your crutch. That'll be, as long as you give it 100%, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something you are passionate about and you give it all, give it everything you got. And mine just happens to be my wife and kids.
That's beautiful. I love that. That was, you jumped to my next question. I was going to say, what advice would you give? And there it is. Find something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Adam, how do you define hope?
Hope?
Hope.
That's a good question. um, Hope is the light at the end of the tunnel of the struggles in life, if that makes sense. All the struggles added up through your entire lifetime, and that one end goal of just pure happiness, really, by the end of it. I mean, everyone around me, everyone I've chose to build my life around and with and go through hardships with, the hardships are just stepping stones. And once you realize the downtimes are actually a gift, hope is the final result after that buildup of all the hardships and all the good times, everything in the end works itself out
That's
to give
perfect.
you the best life possible.
It's perfect. Adam, is there anything that I didn't ask you about that you would like to share about sobriety, about recovery, about your family?
Don't listen to society. You don't have to go out and do what society forms you to do. Be yourself. Find passion in things, find passion in life, because without that, you're running around lost forever. I mean, I'm buddies with guys who drink every day of the week. They've got nothing new for me. It's all the same story. They couldn't tell me about their weekend because they were blacked out drunk all weekend, you know, being present every day in everything I do. It's what gets me through every day. The one day at a time. They're wins every day. I win every day. Yeah, I take some losses here and there, but it's a better ratio on the winning side, you know? I
Absolutely.
mean, it's the small things that count in life. The further you get into sobriety, I mean, my biggest problem now is finding, new colors of paint to paint my living room, you know? I mean, that if that's my biggest problem, I think I've got this thing, you know? I mean, you never say I've got this with sobriety, you know? It still is one day at a time, every day, but it does get easier the longer you go, and you just focus on those goals in your life, your passions. It'll get you through anything.
I love that you said presence. I find myself at 7 years constantly going back to presence. I go back to little moments. I will say to myself, drunk me wouldn't be able to appreciate this. Over the weekend, holiday weekend, right? Um, my daughter and her friends, we were on vacation, Lake of the Ozarks. My daughter and her friends were at a different location. And I said, do you want me to come get you? And she said, oh, would you? And it was a 20-minute drive to go get her, a 20-minute drive to bring her back. And she said, hey guys, my mom will come get us. And I was the only sober person of our group that could have gone to get her. And she and her friends weren't capable of driving. And as I was driving over there, I thought, see, me 8 years ago wouldn't have been able to do this. Me 8 years ago wouldn't have been able to go and get my daughter and to bring her and her friends to come join the group. And now I get to spend the rest of the day and tomorrow with my girl.
Right.
And it's it's that presence. It's that moment where and I still got to enjoy the weekend. I was perfectly fine. I
Yeah.
was there having fun with everybody in the sun and aside from the weather. But um I find myself acknowledging those moments on a regular basis, saying to myself, sober me gets to do this.
Yes.
Drinking me wouldn't get to.
I wouldn't do a third of the things I do today if I was still drunk.
Me too. Me too. Friend, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you.
You are, your story, I am confident, is going to resonate and is going to help. It really
Well, I hope
will.
so. I hope so.
Thank you. If something Adam shared resonated with you, if you found yourself quietly thinking, oh, I've thought those thoughts before, I want you to know you don't have to figure it out alone. This is exactly why I created the Redefining Sober app. It's the support I wish I had when I was questioning my own relationship with alcohol nearly 7 years ago. Not another program telling you exactly what you have to do or who you should be, but a compassionate guide that meets you exactly where you are. Whether you're simply wondering if something needs to change, if you're working to drink less, or if you're choosing an alcohol-free life, maybe you're just learning how to truly thrive in an environment where you've already stopped drinking. The app is designed to walk alongside you every step of the way. Inside, you'll find daily guidance, personalized coaching, reflections, meditations, practical tools, and a path that's built entirely around your journey, not someone else's. Because I believe, with every fiber of my being, there is not only one right way to redefine your relationship with alcohol, but there is always a way. If you're ready to take that next step, I'm honored to do it with you. You can learn more either at redefiningsober.com, or you can hop right over to the app at studio.com/Danielle. Thank you, as always, for spending time with us. I hope this conversation has inspired you. If it has, or if you know someone else who needs to hear it, please share it with them. I am confident Adam's story is powerful and will help you and or someone you know. Until next time, friends, take very good care of you. If you've been joining us on Hope Comes to Visit for a while, you've probably noticed that many of our conversations come back to the same themes: self-awareness, healing, growth, resilience, and finding our way back to ourselves. That's exactly why I created Redefining Sober, initially as a coaching program for women who wanted to redefine their relationship with alcohol, and now I'm excited to share as an app. Redefining Sober is a guided app for women who want to explore, question, or change their relationship with alcohol in a way that feels supportive, compassionate, and free from shame or rigid rules. Through personalized reflections, guided exercises, meditations, videos, and AI-powered support, the app meets you where you are and helps you build self-trust, reconnect with yourself, and create meaningful change. Whether you're sober curious, actively making changes, or already alcohol-free, you'll find tools, encouragement, and support designed just for you. To learn more, visit redefiningsober.com to get started.